you doing tonight?
Fine, thanks, Betty. And I'm even doing better because of what I've listened to from that wonderful group.
Yeah.
That group is smart from the attire to the singing itself. And, you know, that makes me remember about my belief that give Kenyans what they know best, they'll do it thoroughly.
Thoroughly, and that's what they did tonight. You're very right in regards to that, Willis. All right, so I want us to, we'll get to Word on the Streets in a few minutes, but for now, though, let's get straight into the list that I have for you tonight, Willis. And I'll start with this word. It's so long, but I'll labor through it. I'll spell it out. M-A-T-R-I-A-R-C-H-Y. And, you know, note that I said H and not H like the other times. How do we pronounce that, Willis?
No, it happens, Betty. That word is pronounced as matriarchy. Matriarchy.
Yeah.
What is important for us to remember or to understand is that the first letter A takes the sounding A. It takes its name as the sound. So you don't say matriarchy, you say matriarchy. Just like patriarchy.
And then do we say matron or matron?
Matron, not matron.
Okay. Matron. Got it, Willis. Moving on to this other word, I'll still spell this one out because I'm not sure about the pronunciation and I don't want to embarrass myself tonight. I'm not in that mood. T-R-I-D-E-N-T. That's the word, Willis.
Oh, many people find themselves saying trident because of what they see, but that I takes the sounding I. You say trident or trident. We should avoid trident.
Okay,
Trident, no. You say trident or trident.
Trident. All right, Willis. So you don't like pronounce the E-N-T like trident. Is that correct? Trident.
You say trident, but remember you can also say trident.
All right.
Just like student and student. Prudent and prudent.
All right, I'll stick to the first ones, Willis. As you know, sometimes you want English to sound a bit complicated, so I'll stick to student. You know that thing we call swag,
Just strive to communicate. Don't strive to sound, unique or amazing. You see, languages are about communication, Betty. But we have to study the grammar, the vocabulary, and the acceptable pronunciation so that what we say communicates clearly or intelligibly.
Wow. Wow, Willis, what word is that? Okay, so I'll say student and sometimes student. Moving on to this other word. Okay, actually, before we continue the list, let's just bring in our word on the street, Willis. It's a difficult one this time round, but let's just hear what Kenyans have to say on the streets.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette. Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Etiquette, etiquette, etiquette.
Well, Willis, I don't know if you heard that. Etiquette. Eh? So talk to us about that one, Willis.
Yeah, we've had etiquette and etiquette.
Yeah.
But we have those who have pronounced that word correctly, Betty. Those who have said etiquette. You say etiquette. So those who got it right, they deserve a special salute because that word is a bit tricky. When we talk about medical etiquette or professional etiquette, some people find themselves saying professional etiquette, 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 and all that. So the correct or acceptable pronunciation is etiquette.
Etiquette, Willis, etiquette. All right, moving on to this, to my list here. C-O-M-P-A-S-S-I-O-N-A-T-E. Is that the same way we know it as compassionate? Is that the word?
You say compassionate. Compassionate.
Okay.
Like when we're talking about a leave, you say compassionate leave. What we should avoid is compassionate. No. Compassionate. No. Compassionate. Because that sound can be a bit tricky for so many people. So the word is compassionate.
Compassionate. And then I heard you, Willis, saying that
Yes.
compassionate leave. So it's different from, leaving like...
Yes, leave.
Leave. Not
Not
like
live.
live.
We have leave with the long vowel sound E. That is L-E-A-V-E. Compassionate leave. But I live in Nairobi. I live in Kisumu. Don't say I live in Kisumu. It would be vague because leave is L-E-A-V-E, to leave a place or to be given a leave from, at your place of work.
All right. Interesting, Willis. It's good that you've cleared that up. Moving on to this other word, N-U-M-B-S-K-U-L-L. Numbskull.
Oh, you say numbskull.
Numbskull.
What we should avoid is numb. Numbskull, no. When you say numbskull, it's like talking of bombers or bombshell, which is not there. That B is not pronounced. You say numbskull, bombshell, bombers, the limb, not limb, the way we say it locally. So, numbskull is the pronunciation of that word, Betty.
Numbskull. Also like to climb a tree. Is that
Yes.
correct, Willis? I remember you
To
taught us...
climb a tree, not climb. The word that is a bit tricky to many people is when it comes to the plumb, to plumb, or a plumber. Many people say plumber. Plumbing, plumber, plumb, no. You don't say mb. That digraph, which is in Kiswahili like mbolea, it's not used in those words in English. You say plumb, plumber, plumbing, not plumbing. So, a bit tricky, but we have to learn, and learning is always a process, and it never ends.
And it never ends, Willis. Thank you for that. So it's plumber and climb a tree, and not climb
Plumber.
and not climb a tree.
Yes.
All right. Moving on, Willis, to this other
No.
one. S-U-B-T-E-R-R-A-N-E-A-N. Subterranean. Subterranean.
Yes. You say subterranean.
Okay.
Subterranean.
Subterranean.
Just like we're talking about what is in the ground.
Yeah.
Like you say subterranean cave. A subterranean cave. Not subterranean. You say terranean.
Terranean.
Like Mediterranean. Not Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, Willis. Moving on to this other
Yes.
word.
Yes.
W-A-R-D-E-N. Warden. Warden. How is that pronounced?
Oh, you say a warden or a warden. W-A-R-D, you say ward, hospital ward,
Yeah.
a civic ward. Then when you have warden, many people say warden. And in fact, that is found in American pronunciation or other regional varieties where they say wa. But that A and R combine to form the long vowel sound O, just like in the word war. War. You don't say the wa. To fight in the war, not to fight in the war. So you say war, ward, warden or warden, and you also say warder. A prison warder, game warden or warden.
Warden.
So you have to be very careful sometimes when you're pronouncing some of these words, Betty.
Very careful, actually, Willis, you're right. Moving on to our feedback question, and we'll still go back to, let's go back to the Bible. And Fatuma Abdallah of Mandera, hi
Yes.
Fatuma, you're asking about this thing that, is in the Bible, unleavened bread, unleavened bread. How do we say it, Willis?
Unfortunately, Betty, you don't say unleavened or unleavened. You don't say that, my dear sister. This is where English has a problem. I would talk of what we call the irregularities of English spelling and pronunciation. You see, we have the word leave.
Yeah.
But here, we now say unleavened, unleavened,
Wow.
not unleavened. Bread that is made, without yeast, you say unleavened bread, not unleavened or unleavened. So it's tricky, just like leaven, not leaven. You remember we talk about read, to read. But when we come to the word bread, you don't say breed. That is why I'm trying to give you an example of the regular, sounds of English in terms of spelling and the sound values of letter sequences in this language. Very tricky, a bit confusing. Or one of the renowned linguists said, English has somehow chaotic phonology and also the orthography. That is pronunciation and spelling. It's tricky, Betty. Let's go to Constance Saru of Mtwapa.
It's very tricky. Well, it's actually before we get to that.
Yes, very tricky, Betty.
Yes. I just feel a bit shame on me. And, so many people actually just say unleavened.
No,
and,
Betty.
It's like, but I get it, really. So I've learned something tonight.
I want you to get it from me, Betty, that so many people would even say, you remember when I first told people that we don't have pronunciation, the way people felt like, are you kidding? But later, people realized that we have the verb pronounce, but we don't have pronunciation.
Yeah.
Just like the word also tortoise, many people know it as tortoise. That is locally. So this word, unleavened bread, many people, if you can even remember your, days, in or at school, many people were saying unleavened bread. But when you check it, Betty, you'll realize it's unleavened bread. And we say leavened. That is bread made without yeast. So it's about learning, Betty. And as I always say, nobody, not even Willis, is perfect.
Okay.
Anyway, Constance Saru of Mtwapa, you say jewelry, jewelry. Don't say jewelry. Jewelry, no. You say jewelry or jewelry. So what you see may misguide you when it comes to English pronunciation. Not all words are pronounced by following the spelling or the letter sequences very closely. So Constance Saru of Mtwapa, jewelry or jewelry. Philip Ako of Masai Lodge, Ongata Rongai, you say quagmire, but remember, you can also say quagmire. So the two pronunciations are alternatives. They're acceptable for that word, quag or quag. Quagmire, quagmire. Fred Moturi, I believe this is that humble but very brilliant journalist. If I'm not wrong, you say cafe, cafe, not kef. Cyber cafe, not cyber kef. And we also say cafe, not kef. I'm going to that kef. No. You say, I'm going to that cafe. Cyber cafe. Nancy Anyang of Kisumu, you say hospice, not hospice. Hospice is like talking of justice or notice or justice. Instead of justice, notice. So what you should know is that ICE takes the sounding is in hospice, novice, justice, notice, prejudice, not prejudice as commonly said locally. Then we have Samuel Uma at journalist_27. So many journalists are coming on board. This is great. You say adios, adios. Melody Lijodi of Kakamega. Melody, you say subtle, and banji, not bunge. Banji, tricky. Elfas Masong of Mombasa, advertisement. Advertisement or advertisement. You say tis or tease, not ties. Advertisement or advertisement. But remember the verb is advertise, to advertise. Then you say athlete, not athletes. Athletes, not athletes. Moha Funky of Wajir or Wajia and Sami Mwada of Muranga, you say come-uppance, And this one, I think, is a question from Sami Mwada of Muranga. But Moha Funky of Wajir or Wajia is reminding us about his love for this program, Friday Briefing, and Mind Your Language.
Right.
Second last, Lamek Kebaso of Nakuru, you say paraphernalia. Then Noman Makoha, you say then. Yeah, paraphernalia, that is for Lamek Kebaso of Nakuru. But Noman Makoha or Mwami, you say then, not then. You have that voiced sound, the, when you're pronouncing then. The rest, I'll take care of. Then we have the surprise word for tonight, Betty. It's a very common word. And many people find themselves saying palia, liament. That lia is not correct or acceptable. That I is not pronounced. You say parliament.
Parliament.
Parliament. The august house. The august house.
All right.
We are talking about the august house, Betty. You say parliament. So that I is not pronounced, but you begin with a long, low front vowel sound,
Okay.
Parliament.
Okay.
Just like in the word friend, we don't say friend. You say friend.
Friends.
So that I is not pronounced. You just say friend.
Friend.
Parliament, not parliament. Then we come to the confusing words.
All right.
We have FOAL. When we're talking about a very young horse or donkey, and Betty, we don't say donkey. Many people say donkey. That is not accurate.
All right.
You say donkey.
Donkey.
But we have monkey. A very young horse or donkey is a foal. Foal. F-O-A-L. That is the upper word. Foal. But F-O-U-L, like a mistake when we're having a sporting activity, you don't say it's a foul. You say it's a foul.
Foul.
Foul kick.
All right.
A foul kick, not foul kick. That is F-O-U-L.
All right, Willis.
That is about it from my side, Betty.
Wow, I'm still hung up on the unleavened, and I'm seeing quite a number of people also tweeting about it. Unleavened bread and not unleavened bread, like we studied
it's
back
good
in
that we
secondary
sometimes
school.
check some of these words.
Yeah. Okay, Willis. Thank you so much. Willis, it's always great to have you on the show.
Unleavened.
Unleavened bread. All right, remember
pleasure.
that you can interact with Willis throughout the week on his Twitter handle at Willis Ocheng1. That is his Twitter handle. Or you can just choose to wait here on Friday Briefing every Friday night. We learn some proper English pronunciation. Thank you very much, Willis, the word master from Kisumu County. All right, so that's it for that. We want to wind up things here on Friday Briefing. But remember that I still have my amazing guest anchors here in studio today.